Hello, you're at 12 and welcome to the third video here for our 7th topic, house plans. We're just going to talk through a lot of these things. We're not going to do too many calculations. We've covered a lot of it already. Now, a house plan is a specific type of scale drawing for a house. Okay, so a builder, an architect need these things to help design it, to help build it. Different tradespeople look at these plans so they know where to run the plumbing, where to run the wiring, and so on. Floor plan is probably the most important part of a house plan. It is a top view, viewed as though from above looking down with the roof chopped off. Shows us the sort of dimensions of each room, the length and width of each room. Shows us where the doors go. It'll show us where the plumbing fixtures and that sort of thing go, where the drains will need to be. Okay. From that floor plan, we will also have elevations, right? They're side views, viewed as though you were standing on the ground looking at the house from different directions. We might have a front elevation and a side elevation as we have here for this garage. Okay, so this plan view is looking from above, right? And that just shows us the sort of dimensions of the garage, right? The length and width of the garage. The front elevation shows us what it will look like from the front, and that sort of gives us more information about how big that door is, right? How high the door is, not just how wide it is. Shows us a bit more about the shape of the roof. And I've got a side elevation here. That's going to indicate, right, we knew there was a door there. I guess it's this high. We knew from the plan that there was going to be a window here, but we didn't really know whether that was a like a long narrow window or a big tall one. Okay, an elevation shows us that thing. It also gives us an indication how high the walls are and how high the roof will be. So, if we were to do these questions, and you know what, we're not going to, but when it says what's the floor area of the garage in square metres, I will need to measure the image, the length and width of the image, multiply it by the scale of 200, right, just as we did in the previous exercise. Right, length and width, multiply by 200, gives us the object sizes. Convert those from millimetres, probably, to metres. Make sure we're working in metres now. Divide our millimetres by 1,000 to get metres, and multiply the length times the width to get the area in square metres. The height of the highest point of the garage's roof, I'm going to use an elevation here to work this out, and I measure the height here, right, from the ground level to the top of the roof. On my image, I multiply it by the scale of 200, and that gives me the object size. Remember, if I've measured in millimetres, then I'm going to get an answer in millimetres unless I convert that by dividing by 1,000. Now, part C here is a fairly complicated question. Again, look, I'm just going to talk you through it. We're going to paint the inside of the walls. We're going to paint them twice. We're not going to paint the window. I need to know the area of the walls, and let's do it including the windows to begin with. Now, there are 4 walls, 4 rectangles, and I could work out the length of the wall and multiply it by the height. We've already worked out the length of the walls for part A. The height of the wall, not including the roof, is going to be a lot like part B, but a different measurement to begin with. So measure how high the wall is, multiply it by 200, right, that gives us the object size. Making sure that's now in metres, doing a conversion to metres, right, the length of the wall multiplied by the height of the wall gives us the area of the wall. Now, do that for the front wall and a side wall, and of course the back wall and the other side, right, sort of like a mirror image. So we'll add the area of those 4 walls together. Right. This gives us the total area of the walls. Now work out the area of this window, 2.6 by 2.2, multiply them together, take that off the area of the walls. Yes? Take that away from the area of the walls because we're not painting the windows. Now, this tells us the area that needs to be painted. It's got to be painted twice, so I double that answer that we have. Right, and that tells me what area of paint needs to go down. And then I have this rate here that tells me 10 square metres requires 1 litre. So I divide the area, that big number that I've got, divide it by 10. That will tell me how many litres of paint I need. Right, yeah, complex enough, but really that's tying together all sorts of different concepts. Symbols on house plans. Look, have a look at these. There's some conventions here. These are an important part of a house plan, So as I said, various trades know where to put the drains for the toilets, showers, sinks, etc., where to run light fittings and so on. Where to put the doors, which way the doors swing, right? Whether they swing in or out, whether the handle will be on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, right? All of this information is encoded in symbols normally like this. Okay, look, that's going to do for this video. I hope it made sense. Sorry about the lack of calculations, but it's kind of sped things up. And we've done plenty of those image object scale calculations already. Okay, see you in class.